Excuse me, are you Mr. Darnell?
Yes, I am.
I'm Katelyn DeHoff from Freed of London. We've been talking on the phone about having Freed become the official provider for Cincinnati Ballet.
Good morning, Miss DeHoff. Please just call me Andy. It's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. How was your trip?
Slightly long, but pleasant. If you're ready, we can go ahead and get started right away.
Absolutely. Your shoes being some of the more expensive ones in the market, why should we choose to add your company as our primary provider of pointe shoes?
Freed of London is indeed more expensive, but we believe that that cost will be more than recovered by the benefits that our provider agreement will provide. First, how much time does it take for your ballerinas to break in their new pointe shoes?
From what I understand, it takes about 2 hours per pair, but it depends on the dancer's preferences.
2 hours is the average, but sometimes it can take 4 to 6 hours to fully break in a shoe to the point where it's comfortable for a performance. Most of the time, the dancers will begin that process at their homes, but then they'll bring it with them to rehearsals and do it during the time that they should be working. Your dancers, they aren't paid for hours actively moving, are they?
No, they receive set salaries based on hours in the studio or performance venue. We don't dock their pay for time they aren't actively involved, so you're saying that Freed of London can help my dancers achieve maximum efficiency?
Correct. Because Freed of London is custom designed to each dancer's specifications, they'll be spending less time working on breaking in their shoe. It'll still take about 2 hours, but that can be done at their homes rather than during the rehearsals. And because they'll be focused on the performance instead of fretting about their shoes, those performances will be able to be much more professional and of a elite caliber that you've been wanting. For Freed shoes, there are several different things that dancers can specify. And I brought along some of our shoes to show you exactly what I mean. Not only does the size and width get specified, just like any other shoe, we can also specify the type of insole that is used. We can specify the block, this section. We can specify the platform here, that's what they would balance on. Some dancers prefer it to be more rounded, some prefer it to be square and flat. We can specify the vamp and how much support that can give, the height of the sides, the length and height of the back. We can do either string or canvas or even elastic drawstrings, and pleats where the shoes are joined and where all of the balance and coordination comes into play. Those are all aspects that we can have directly specified by the dancer, so that way she has the best tool that she needs to be able to do her job. And because those are all specified, she'll spend less time breaking in the shoe to make it comfortable for her to be able to do the performance to her maximum abilities.
We have been trying to find a way around dancer union rules to make our days more productive, and better rehearsals will create better performances, which will increase our status and ticket sales.
Exactly. Freed of London shoes also last slightly longer than the typical pointe shoe because of the construction methods that we use. And also the fact that the dancers won't be tearing them apart to make them comfortable anymore. Do you know how many shoes does Cincinnati Ballet go through each season?
Each dancer can go through about 80 to 100 shoes a season, and with 21 female dancers, doing the math, that comes to a minimum of 1,680 shoes per season. So if Freed doesn't indeed last longer, we could probably bring our total down by maybe 5 to 7%. Even that would help our bottom line.
Having Freed of London as the official provider really is all about helping the dancers professional companies, and the bottom line. And I know injuries is one big thing that constantly attacks dance companies and their bottom line. How much do you guys lose to injuries each year?
We usually have at least one dancer out each season, and part of their contract ensures that we cover their medical care. Depending on the injury, it can be between a few $100s and several $1,000s. That amount each season can add up pretty quickly if we have more than one dancer out at a time. Can freed London shoes really help prevent injuries?
To a certain extent, yes. We can't prevent absolutely all injuries, but the small ones, such as blisters, bunions, twisted ankles, those are ones that we'll be able to help the most with because the shoes are custom designed to the dancers, so she won't be trying to dance in something that's too big or too small for her.
So, if freed shoes can help us decrease injuries, that cuts healthcare costs, liability risks, and saves us thousands in replacing injured dancers. For example, in our 2011-2012 season, we had two of our principal female dancers injured while preparing for our Rite of Spring performance. We flew in a replacement dancer from Tulsa Ballet who then also got injured. We had to use one of the core members at the last minute. The show worked out well, but we certainly would have preferred to avoid all the hassle and headaches.
I do remember that show. Courtney did great as a replacement, especially given that she had so little time to prepare and learn. If I remember correctly, Dawn Kelly was also pulled to replace the lead in Vivace for that exact same show. While Freed of London can't prevent all injuries, they can certainly help. I also recall that the 2011-2012 season, that was when Cincinnati Ballet decided to rebrand slightly and try to join the ranks of companies like New York City Ballet and San Francisco Ballet.
That is correct. And doesn't New York City Ballet use Freed as their primary provider as well?
Correct. And you may be interested to know that San Francisco Ballet does not.
So, if we choose Freed of London as our provider, we'll be taking one more step to obtain the elite status. The prestige and status of Freed will extend to the Cincinnati Ballet, which will help the company, our profits, and my own career.
Very much so. Freed of London really desires to help the dancers, the professional companies, all improve and reach their goals. And the best way we have found to be able to do that is to support companies by being their official providers. We really hope that we'll be able to support Cincinnati Ballet in this manner soon.
Well, thank you for coming out and discussing this with me. I'll need some time to think it over and find out from the dancers what their thoughts are about Freed of London, but I will keep in touch.
My pleasure. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to meet with me and talk with me about this. I look forward to hearing more from you soon, and if you need me to come out and talk with the dancers, I'd be more than happy to.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.